Good day and welcome to my video lectures about physics. In this video lecture, I will discuss about the free-falling objects sample problems. So let's start. Let's say we have two objects hanging in the air. One object has a weight of 5 kilograms and the other object is 1 kilogram. These two objects are 5 feet above the ground, so they are at the same height. Once you release from rest, both objects will be in free fall. Which one will hit the ground first? Is it the 5 kilograms object or the 1 kilogram object? The answer is both objects will hit the ground at the same time, assuming there is no air resistance. The reasons for that is that they are in the same height and under the influence of the same gravity. The acceleration due to gravity is 9.8 meters per second squared. Let's say we have a metal object and a piece of paper, and they are at the same height of 5 feet above the ground. So the metal is a lot heavier than a piece of paper. At this time, let's say there is an air resistance. Once they are released from rest, which object will reach the ground first? The answer is the metal will go straight to the ground, while the paper, due to air resistance, will sway from right to left or vice versa, and it will reach the ground much longer time. Now what will happen if the piece of paper will be crumpled into a small circular shapes? Now the effects of air resistance into this crumpled paper will be greatly reduced. So these two objects will approximately reach the ground at the same time. So we can say that the greater the surface area of the paper, the greater the effect of air resistance. If you eliminate the air resistance completely, then both objects will hit the ground at the exact same time because they are under the influence of the same gravity. Let's say we have a ball. If we release it from rest, it is going to fall down and is going to accelerate at negative 9.8 meters per square seconds. Acceleration tells you how fast the velocity is changing every second. So initially, the speed is 0. 1 second later, the velocity is negative 9.8, but the speed is positive 9.8. Speed is always positive, but velocity can be positive or negative, depending on the direction. So because the ball is going in a downward or negative y direction, the velocity is negative 2 seconds later, the velocity is going to be negative 19.6 and the speed is positive 19.6. So every second, the velocity and the speed are changing. So as the ball is falling, we will notice that the velocity is decreasing by negative 9.8, but the speed is increasing. Before we go far in solving free-falling objects problem, let's discuss first some of the equations or formulas that you need in solving free-falling problems. Whenever an object is moving with constant speed, this is the equation that you need to use. D can be used as distance or displacement. Just remember that distance is a scalar quantity with magnitude only, and it is always positive, while displacement is a vector quantity with both magnitude and direction, and it can be positive or negative. Now, when an object is moving at constant acceleration, you can use one of these four equations. B final could be represented as the final speed or final velocity. B initial could be initial speed or initial velocity. A is the acceleration and T is the time. Just remember that velocity is the speed with direction. Speed is scalar quantity and is always positive, while velocity is a vector quantity and can be positive or negative depending on what direction you are going. So, for an object that is going to the right and going upward, the velocity is positive. Going to the left and going downward, the velocity is negative. When dealing with constant acceleration, use these four equations. Let's start with this problem. A girl standing on a cliff with a ball in her hand will drop it from rest. Letter A. What is the speed and velocity of the ball 7 seconds later? Letter B. How far does it travel at this time? Letter C. What is the displacement of the ball? Let's say this is the clip with a girl dropping the ball from rest. Since the ball is dropped from rest, so the initial speed is 0. Our goal is to find first the final speed of the ball. We know the time is 5 seconds and the acceleration due to gravity is negative 9.8 meter per square seconds. So what formula do we need to solve for the final speed? The formula that we need is B final is equal to B initial plus acceleration times time. So putting the given values of variables, we have 0 plus negative 9.8 times 7, and this is equal to negative 68.6 meter per second. Our answer is negative. Is this the speed? No, because speed is always positive. Therefore, the final speed is positive 68.6 meter per second, and the velocity is negative 68.6 meter per second. Negative means that the ball is going in the negative y direction. Now let's solve for letter B. How far does the ball travel after 7 seconds? The formula that we need is D is equal to B initial times T plus 1/2 accelerations times T squared. So putting all the given variables, we have D is equal to 0 times 7 plus negative 9.8 times 7 squared. Therefore, our answer is negative 240 meters. Now, what does this answer represent? That answer is not the distance traveled, but rather it is a displacement. So this is the answer for letter C. Remember, displacement is a vector like velocity. It can be negative or positive. Therefore, the answer for letter B is positive 240 meters. Whenever the object moves in one direction, if it does not change direction, the distance and displacement have the same value, but the signs may be different depending on what direction. Let's solve another problem. A stone is dropped from the top of the building and hits the ground 7 seconds later. How tall is the building? The question is how tall is the building? The height of the building is basically the distance that stone travels until it hits the ground. Now, what equation should we use? Before we know what equation or formula to be used, we need to know what are the given variables. In the problem, it says that the stone is dropped, so it means that it is released from rest. Therefore, the initial velocity is 0, and we have the given time, t is 7 seconds, and we also know the acceleration of negative 9.8 meter per square seconds. Our goal is to find the distance in the y direction, which is the same as the height of the building. With the given variables, we will use this formula, wherein d is equal to initial velocity times time plus 1/2 acceleration times time square. Putting the given variables, therefore the height of the building is 240.1 meters. Negative because it means that the stone travels in the negative y direction. But the height of the building is a scalar quantity and it is always positive. Let's solve another problem. A stone is thrown downward from the top of the building at 20 meters per second and hits the ground 5 seconds later. How tall is the building? The question in this problem is the same on previous problem, but the difference is the initial velocity of the stone. So what are the given variables? In the problem, it says that the stone is thrown downward, so it means that it is released with force. Therefore, the initial velocity of 20 meters per second, and we have the given time t is equal to 5 seconds. And we also know the acceleration of negative 9.8 meter per second square. Our goal is to find the distance in the y direction, which is the same as the height of the building. With the given variables, we will use this formula, wherein d is equal to initial velocity times time plus 1/2 acceleration times time square. Putting the given variables, therefore the height of the building is equal to 222.5 meters. Negative because it means that the stone travels in the negative y direction. But the height of the building is a scalar quantity and it is always positive.